Welcome to Total War News. My name is Cody Bonds. Today's blog from the Creative Assembly introduced Drazhoath the Ashen, a playable character in the upcoming Forge of the Chaos Dwarfs DLC for Total War Warhammer 3. Drazhoath the Ashen is the sorcerer prophet of Hashut, and is the lord of the Black Fortress and the commander of the Fell Legion of Asgore. His mastery of magic and engineering grew stronger throughout his time in exile at the hands of Astragoth Ironhand, and he now seeks a return to the fold of Tsar Nagrand. Being equally as proficient with his axes as with his sorcery, Drazhoath is a formidable presence on the battlefield, be he on foot or atop his trusty Bale Taurus, Cinderbreath. He's equally as daunting outside of battle too, being an industrial juggernaut, and best in class when it comes to generating armaments and developing settlements. But this blog isn't just about him, it's also about the overarching narrative of the DLC. See, the Chaos Dwarfs are a merciless race of killers and torturers. After straying far from their kin, the dwarfs to the east were cut off from their western lands during the Great Catastrophe, also called the emergence of chaos into the known world. They sought refuge in the god Hashut, the bull god of fire, greed, and tyranny, who laid his dreadful blessings upon them in exchange for protecting them from chaos. Corrupted with access to powerful magic, hellish forces, and the fires deep within the earth, the Chaos Dwarfs demonstrate their industrial prowess with hell factories spanning miles across the known world. They've engineered infernal war machines unlike anything the mortal world has ever seen, with hell cannons so bloodthirsty they must be chained to the battlefield to prevent them charging into the conflict. All of this is in search of one thing: the blood of Hashut. To acquire more of it, the Chaos Dwarfs must build the Great Drill of Hashut, which just happens to also be what you'll be doing in their narrative campaign. And the Chaos Dwarfs must collect and corrupt 4 dwarven artifacts. They intend to bind these to demons, forging them into components required for the construction of the Hell Drill, and once complete, they will then dig into the very fabric of reality and breach Hashut's domain. But the dwarfs tend to hold grudges, and they aren't happy about their precious heirlooms being tainted with the forces of chaos, so expect them to fight back as part of the Realms of Chaos campaign. But then there's the Hellforge. The Chaos Dwarfs are well known for creating some of the most nightmarish machines of war known to man, and they never cease to improve their tools of destruction. Never satisfied, never satiated, the Dalby Czar's infernal industry will stop at nothing until it forges the mightiest military possible, and regardless of sacrifice demanded by their roaring fires. While powerful, there are limits on the number of available Chaos Dwarfs and other units beyond the laborers at any one time. These unit caps can be raised through the further spending of armaments to craft additional weapons and armor in the Hellforge. As the unit cap grows, so too does the Hellsmith's proficiency, unlocking further upgrades, meaning that if you spend your armaments in the Hellforge in the correct way, you should never feel short on Chaos Dwarfs. But now let's take a sneak peek at some of their upcoming units. Among the most legendary warrior cults within the Chaos Dwarf Empire is the Infernal Guard, which has the sworn task of defending the Citadel from any who would assail it, and always seek to exert the will of the Lord of the Black Fortress, Drazhoath himself, without question and to the death. Stricken by shame and humiliation, their faces have been sealed shut behind iron and bronze masks, only to be torn from their flesh once they achieve great glory, leaving the faces of scarred warriors once visible once again. As high-tier troops of the Chaos Dwarfs, the Internal Guard can wield a variety of weapons, including great weapons, an axe and shield combo, and fearsome fire glaives, which work something like the Kislev Streltsy. Both relentless and cruel, these warriors will stop at nothing in their hunt for redemption. The Chaos Dwarfs certainly have a demonic side though, and nowhere is this better illustrated than through the monstrous Cody, chaos demons that were enslaved and bound in Iron War armor. They are the scions of fire, and they serve the demon smiths of the Chaos Dwarfs. What you see here is the Cody Fireborn, mighty demonic fire elementals forged from a demon essence and the hot magma beneath the surface. They are mindless creatures of destruction, made too powerful by the creator's desire for power, and frankly the stuff of legend. As monstrous infantry, the Cody Fireborn launch flaming attacks upon their prey, using their blazing bodies to increase their own physical resistance while reflecting damage back at their enemies. Their intensity grows stronger the longer they spend in melee, but you need to use them wisely because the brightest flames also burn out the fastest, and once shattered, the runes that maintain their unbreakable attribute are rendered inert, leaving them susceptible to demonic instability. Those mad enough to crave more can always look for the Cody Destroyers, giant constructs of burning hatred that's fueled by the blood of sacrifices. As the biggest and most expensive unit the Chaos Dwarfs can conjure, these monsters are a rare but terrifying sight, with anti-large and wall breaker capabilities, and the Cody Destroyer lets nothing stand in its way. Its size allows it to charge across the battlefield, send units flying as they shred those who stand close to them. Whenever a major patch comes to the Total War games, it's normally accompanied by a free DLC, and the Forge of the Chaos Dwarfs is no exception, though it does take a new form here. In their previous blog post, they announced Gorda's Backstabber would be a sneaky legendary hero arriving as part of the Chaos Dwarfs DLC, but the free DLC will be none other than Ulrika Magdova of Kislev. Transformed into a vampire against her will, she is the ultimate hybrid combatant, proficient in melee combat, deadly at range, and a spellcaster. Ulrika can fill any role on the battlefield, boasting the best traits from Kislev and the vampire counts. For those of you that aren't aware of her, she is most famous from the Gotrek and Felix novels, and Ulrika Magdova is included as a free addition to the Kislev and Empire races of Warhammer 3. A CA account will be required to claim her though, and once that's done, Ulrika will be available for recruitment in the campaign after completing a personal quest chain for her. In the next blog post, CA promises to talk a bit about Zatan the Black, and I suspect we'll find out a bit more about the Chaos War Machines in the very near future. The Forge of the Chaos Dwarfs DLC will be arriving as part of the Update 3.0 on April 13th for $25 US. So how is the DLC shaping up in your eyes? Is Drazhoath the Ashen someone you're interested in? Or have things like the legendary Hero FLC and the $25 price tag made you a bit cold on this very hot themed DLC? Make sure to leave your comments below. I'm very curious how you feel about all this. My name is Cody Bonds, and this has been another episode of Total War News. Make sure to stay tuned to this channel for more news as it develops, but as always, thanks for watching.